Well, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to a Therapeutic Edge. Hey, I've got an older Kershaw on the table. This is about 3 years old now, although they're still producing these. This is a Les George design. This is the XCOM, and this is not going to be for everyone. I know that. It is designed to look like a World War II trench knife, and that's a really particular design and style. But I had a chance to get this recently, and I'm glad that I did. It's comfortable, like really comfortable. It's got a nice flat spot back here for your thumb to land. I'm not a huge thumb disc guy, but, you know, this one's pretty good. It works. Action's relatively stiff. Now, it's steel liners on FRN scales. It is 8CR13 MOV, but it's full size, reasonably full size. What are we coming in at here? Yeah, just a little over 8 inches, so it's a full-size knife. And I like this blade. I do. It's very pokey. It's also fairly slicey. Now, it is saber ground, right? So it's split right down the middle. But it's rather, it's reasonably thin stock, ground relatively well. It does have a little bit of a swell back here at this end. Of course, if you go and look at these online, all the pictures they show, they don't have that, of course, but this one does. It's got a little bit of plastic backspacer back here. It's got a little bit of jimping built into the steel liners. Give your thumb a place to plant. I don't know. I like stuff like this. It's because somewhere on the inside I'm still 12 or 13 years old, I guess, but I just think it's cool. It's got a really nice deep carry clip that they unfortunately didn't do flush-mounted screws, so you lose a little bit up here at the top, but it will slide all the way down, and it's reasonably soft steel, right? It's got good spring. I don't know. I think this thing is fun. Let's do some basic specs. You're looking at 3.5 inches of cutting on a little over 3.5 inches of 8CR13 MOV. Grip area from behind that swell. I mean, if we come down off this line a little bit, you're looking at 3 3/4. I mean, it is a nice, good size handle. As I said, the knife comes in at just at 8 inches, excuse me. Looked like it was over from over here, but it's just at 8 inches. Closed length, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 inches. I do like it. Because it's a thumb disc and not a flipper, in the pocket probe, but it's relatively thick up here at the top. We're looking at 1.5 inches at the widest, and it was moved back down towards the end of the knife, 1.25 inches here, 1.5 inches up here. I don't know, stuff like this makes me happy, right? Inexpensive. I mean, these are $40, a little less. Comfortable, well made. Kind of Kershaw doing its Kershaw thing. And I like Les George designs a bunch. So this, of course, is his idea, so done well. Missed it. Let's do some size comparisons just for giggles. Here it is against the PM2, excuse me, the PM2, the Para 3. I know what I'm doing. Watch me go. And you can see it's bigger than that. And if we compare it against the PM2, it's a little smaller than that. Comparing it against other Kershaws, well, then I'm going to break out my favorite Kershaw of all time. This is the Sprint Run Highball. But, of course, the standard highball is the same size. As you can see, the XCOM is bigger than the highball. This, I don't know. I know there's a smaller highball, and that's why they call this the XL, but this is absolutely not an X. Anyway, sorry. Look, sometimes knives are also for fun. Okay. Is this a tactical knife? No, absolutely not. Is it built to look like one? 100%. Does that give it kind of a gas station appeal? Yeah. But wrapped around all that, it is nested steel liners, and they are really well done in there, right? It's got a nice deep carry clip. The steel lock bar is running at about 40%. You got plenty of room in there still. The thumb disc works surprisingly well for a thumb disc. I don't like thumb discs generally, but also it really rolls out nicely, which is a good feature, which means they got the pivot balance. The distance from the thumb disc to the pivot is pretty much right. I don't know, it's just a well-sorted knife. I really do. It's not, it's not like a showstopper or anything, but it's just a fun Kershaw. They recently dropped their 2023 line, and I have to tell you, for the first time in a long time, I'm fairly excited about more than one Kershaw at a time. So there will be more of these coming onto the channel. Maybe that's why I leaned into this one. Les George has designed for Kershaw. He has his own custom stuff. He's designed for a ton for ZT. I just like his name. I like his stuff, right? And this is no different. It is very pokey. You needed to do that. And it's very slicey. Piece of paper. Let's see how she does. Oop, little tear there at the end, but I mean, yeah. Oop. That's me, not the knife. There we go. I mean, it's got a little hang up, but, I don't know, I like it. I think you will too. Let's weigh it out and see where it drops. It's relatively heavy for its size, but FRN is light stuff, so maybe it's going to compensate. Yeah, 4 ounces. I mean, about the same as a PM2 with a tie back spacer. So, and they're relatively similar in size, so that makes sense. What do they give you? They give you 3.6 millimeters of the 8CR, which is, that's a reasonably thick chunk. You can see. This is, it's not a new knife, and yet it is locked up tight as a drum. It's on washers, so the action is smooth but not fast, if that makes any sense. I like it. That's where we're going to end this. This is the Kershaw XCOM, a reasonably priced, tactical-looking pocket knife from the folks at Kershaw in the mind of Les George. If you've been thinking about one because you've seen pictures on the internet, they released a couple of special editions. They released I think a coyote brown version and an OD green version a while back. If you've been thinking about one just because you think they look kind of cool, at this price, you just can't go wrong. And it will absolutely function as an everyday pocket knife for you, even though it looks a little funky. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Kershaw XCOM. I have been a Therapeutic Edge. We'll see you next time. Take care.